Today on Mina Studio, getting rid of distractions. Welcome to Mina Studio. My name's Nathan. With me as always is my tech director Ronald. He's back there all blurry on the keys. So today is the very first video in a new discussion series that I want to start. I often get up here and tell you what I think about these things, but I want to hear what you think about all these worship topics. I know we all come from different worship styles, from different worship philosophies, and sometimes even from different ideas of what biblical worship looks like. But regardless of all those things, I still think the best thing we can do is to get together on those and to talk about them and to help each other with them. So today I want to talk about getting rid of distractions in worship, or at least not adding more distractions in worship. So I personally believe one of the biggest jobs of a worship leader is actually to remove distractions. You hear a lot of people say it like the worship leader's job is to get out of the way. And I would agree with that. Worship is done by God. It's the Holy Spirit that allows us to worship, not the worship leader. Worship leaders are great, but they're not the Holy Spirit. They're not the ones that cause us to worship. That is solely up to God. So I think a lot of times worship leaders are just providing a medium for us to worship. In most cases, music or liturgy or prayer. And a big part of that is getting rid of anything that might distract us from God during the worship services. Obviously, we can't do this perfectly. Some people, like myself, will just be distracted by anything. But I think it is a very important thing to think about how we can do it well. So first, let me start with a way that I get rid of distractions, and then I want to hear yours. So one way that I get rid of distractions is I explain things. I try to explain things very well and kind of tell the congregation where we're going. For instance, if we have a prayer of confession and assurance of forgiveness, I'll explain those things before they happen. I'll say, this is why we do a confession, and then we do the confession. Then I'll say, okay, this is what an assurance of forgiveness is, and then we do that. Even though all or most of the people know what we're doing because we do it each week, I still think it can be helpful. Because sometimes people's minds will kind of get on the, I wonder where we're going, or why are we doing this, instead of focusing on what we are doing. So that's one of the ways that I try to remove distractions. So now it's time for you to help your fellow worship leaders by discussing this in the comments. How do you get rid of distractions in worship? Or how do you prevent from adding more distractions in worship? And of course, please keep it civil. Differing viewpoints are a good thing, not a bad thing. So scroll down to the comments right now and let's discuss. How do you get rid of distractions in worship?